The story of this science fiction begins by showing a spaceship in space, which was completely out of control and was about to land on a planet. Upon closer inspection, it turned out that this planet was none other than Earth. Due to the spaceship's high speed, it quickly crossed Earth's orbit and crashed into a vast ocean on the planet. Two warriors inside the spaceship emerged. One warrior was trying to drag his companion to the shore, but it was later revealed that he was already dead. It was clear that his death wasn't caused by the crash landing, but rather by a dangerous creature that had attacked him with its claws, leading to his death. The remaining warrior, named Tom, was from another planet in the universe. However, his spaceship had directly crashed on Earth. Tom pulled out a large machine from inside the spaceship, which was an advanced device that allowed him to transfer all the information about Earth to his mind. He quickly gathered the information and began moving forward. Everything was quite different for Tom, and as he ventured deeper into the jungle with his weapon, he encountered a huge fish, which had also been brutally killed by someone. While moving forward, Tom reached a nearby village, but the village appeared to have been abandoned for some reason, as if someone had attacked and killed everyone there. Suddenly, Tom started hearing some noises from the jungle. Following the sounds, he reached the source, only to be struck on the head by a man on horseback, causing him to lose consciousness. The man then took Tom with him toward the village. We are then introduced to the king of that village, who was practicing sword fighting with his daughter, Freya. The king was continuously trying to convince Freya that she should marry Wolf Frick, because after the king's death, Frick would become the new leader of the tribe. However, Freya did not want to marry Wolf at all. Wolf Frick arrives at the scene, revealing that the man who knocked Tom unconscious was indeed Wolf Frick himself. Wolf tells the king that the neighboring village, called Gunnar, was completely destroyed by some unknown force. However, he noticed that no dead bodies were found among the injured people. The king had no idea about these events but was deeply concerned, as Gunnar's people were out hunting. If they returned and saw the state of their village, they would surely suspect that the attack had been carried out by them. The king then asks Wolf if he found any evidence or clues in the destroyed village. Wolf replies that he encountered an unknown man carrying a weapon, who appeared to be from another planet. Wolf and his companions took Tom to the prison, where he was held captive. Wolf began interrogating Tom about who could have attacked Gunnar's village. Tom speculated that the attack might have been the work of a dangerous creature. However, Wolf suspected that Tom himself was responsible for everything, especially because he had advanced weapons in his possession. Tom tried to explain that he was from another planet and had crashed on Earth, but Wolf didn't believe him. In the meantime, Wolf and his men kept Tom imprisoned and treated him harshly. After a while, the king's daughter, Freya, entered the prison to treat Tom's injuries. Freya had been sent by Wolf to extract information from Tom. However, while tending to Tom's wounds, Freya noticed that his hands were not bound by ropes, meaning Tom had freed himself. As Freya attempted to call the guards, Tom punched her, knocking her unconscious, and escaped. He managed to overpower the guards and fled the scene. Later that night, a soldier from the village was standing guard outside when he suddenly heard noises coming from the jungle. At that moment, a dangerous creature, glowing in red light, attacks the soldier, quickly capturing him and devouring him entirely. This incident soon reaches the nearby soldiers, who sound the siren and alert the village. The villagers, thinking that Gunnar and his men had come to attack, rush to see what's happening. However, they soon realize that a terrifying creature, resembling a hybrid dinosaur, is killing their soldiers. The creature has massive claws, and no one is able to stand against it. Tom, who had seen the creature up close, becomes determined to capture it. Without fear, he begins to chase after it, but his bad luck continues. Wolf Frick intercepts him and captures Tom once again, bringing him back to the king. Upon examining the bodies of the injured villagers, the villagers confirm that the attacks could not have been carried out by Tom or Gunnar's people, as large claw marks on the bodies indicate that the creature was responsible. The king and his people sit together, discussing the situation. One man suggests that this could be the work of a devil, but Wolf insists that it might be a bear. The king then calls for Tom to explain more about the creature, which he identifies as a dragon-like monster. Tom explains that such dangerous creatures exist under the ground of many planets and only emerge after many years. Over time, they kill everything in their path to increase their population. Tom reveals that this creature killed his companion as well, and due to his spaceship's destruction, he cannot return to his own planet. Tom then pleads with the king to take him along with them, so he can help track down and confront the creature. The next day, the king begins preparing for an expedition into the jungle with all his soldiers, and Tom is once again included in the group, ready to join them in the search for the deadly creature. After everything was settled, they continued advancing deeper into the jungle. Soon, one of Tom's companions started screaming loudly. Hearing his cries, the others rushed to his aid, and Tom too sprinted to help. It was revealed that a bear had attacked the soldier, killing him. Now, in a wild frenzy, the bear was about to attack the king. But before it could cause any harm, Tom arrived just in time, using his sword to kill the bear, bringing it down instantly. Wolf Frick then took the bear's head back to the village, where everyone celebrated. They had a substantial amount of meat to feast on, and the villagers praised Tom for his bravery. Later, as night fell, Tom sat outside, and Freya approached him, thanking him for saving her father. She explained that if Tom hadn't been there, her father would have been dead. Tom, however, confirmed that the creature that had killed many villagers was no bear but rather a dragon-like monster, a much more dangerous creature. While they were talking, suddenly arrows began flying towards the soldiers, attacking them one by one. Freya, in this critical situation, rushed Tom back to the village, informing everyone that Gunnar's people had attacked them, believing that the king and his men were responsible for the destruction of their village. In a fit of rage, Gunnar and his men assaulted the village, killing anyone they came across. Gunnar was now furious and reached the king, intending to attack him directly. At this point, Tom displayed incredible courage, pushing Gunnar away to protect the king. With Tom's help, Wolf Frick and his soldiers managed to capture Gunnar and his men, driving them out of the village. The gates of the village were then shut, and Gunnar, now defeated, had no choice but to retreat. Gunnar, while leaving, threatened the king, vowing to avenge the deaths of his people. With his soldiers, he retreated into the dense jungle. Wolf, Tom, and the soldiers stood on top of the large wall they had built, keeping watch to guard against any potential attacks. Gunnar's soldiers scattered throughout the jungle. Suddenly, one of the soldiers was attacked by the dangerous dragon-like creature, and Gunnar, realizing the immense threat of the creature, began heading back toward the king and Wolf's village with his remaining men. When Wolf saw Gunnar and his soldiers running back, he ordered his men to attack. Many of Gunnar's soldiers were killed. Just then, Tom saw the terrifying dragon-like creature, the same one that had been chasing them, in the jungle. He quickly stopped Wolf from attacking and opened the gate, allowing Gunnar and his men to enter the village. Inside the village, the king and the villagers saw the creature, which had been killing Gunnar's men, flee into the jungle. Gunnar then realized that the attack on his village had not been carried out by the king's people, but by the creature. Gunnar, now realizing the truth, decided to team up with the king to eliminate the creature. The king agreed, stating that if they wanted peace, the creature had to be killed. Tom suggested that they set a trap to capture the creature and kill it. However, Wolf disliked Tom's plan and opposed it. But with no other options, and realizing the urgency of the situation, the king decided to move forward with Tom's plan. The next day, preparations began according to Tom's strategy. A large pit was dug underground as part of the trap to capture and kill the creature. The trap was prepared by filling a large pit with gasoline and oil so that when the creature was captured, it could be set on fire, ensuring the dragon-like creature would be completely destroyed. With the trap set, everyone waited for the creature's return to execute their plan. That night, Tom had a conversation with the king and then went to meet Freya for dinner. As they shared the meal, Freya asked Tom what the king had told him. Tom explained that the king had offered him to stay permanently. Freya, curious about Tom's response, asked what decision he had made. Tom, with a serious tone, replied that it was strange for them to offer him a place to stay without truly knowing who he was. Tom then began sharing more about himself. He revealed that he did not belong to this world, but to a far more advanced civilization. A few years ago, his civilization had planned to expand its influence across the universe. They attacked a planet inhabited by dangerous dragon creatures, and their orders were clear: eliminate them and take control of the planet. Even though the planet belonged to the dragon creatures, they were ordered to kill them mercilessly. Freya reassured Tom, telling him it wasn't his fault and that he was just following his king's orders. However, Tom explained that they had always had a choice to do things the right way. After performing well, their king had even given Tom and his family their own separate compartment. But one day, while on a mission, Tom received the news that a dangerous dragon-like creature had killed his wife and son. Since that day, Tom had been blaming himself for everything that had happened. Tom was deeply saddened by the loss, and Freya offered her support, trying to comfort him in his grief. Freya then gave Tom her family sword, symbolizing his acceptance into their tribe. Soon after, Wolf came to Tom and informed him that they had received news that the dangerous creature was nearby. The two of them ventured out, and Tom threw a lit torch ahead. The light illuminated the creature's shadow, confirming its presence. Without hesitation, the creature charged toward Tom and Wolf, which was all part of their plan. Tom quickly moved aside, but Wolf got stuck in the oil pit they had prepared. The creature also fell into the pit, covered in oil. It was time to set the creature on fire, but Wolf was still stuck. Tom rushed to help him out, and once Wolf was free, the villagers set the creature on fire. The creature began to burn, and everyone thought that this would kill it. However, they were mistaken. Meanwhile, Freya's young companion spotted another, smaller, dangerous dragon-like creature. Freya immediately grabbed her sword and stood her ground, while the other women screamed and ran in fear. The king quickly rushed to help Freya fight the creature. It became evident that the fire had no effect on the large creature's body, and it emerged, attacking the villagers. Gunnar, Wolf, and Tom fought fiercely against the creature. In the chaos, the king, in his effort to protect Freya, came face to face with the creature, which severely injured him. As the large dragon-like creature began to retreat, it used its sharp tail to decapitate Gunnar. Several villagers were killed in the attack. When Tom learned that Freya was attacked by the dangerous creature, he rushed to her side, only to find that her father had sacrificed his life fighting the creature. Freya was devastated by this loss. The attacks by the creature continued, and many villagers were killed, causing fear to spread. The remaining villagers decided to flee, leaving only a few soldiers, Tom, and Wolf behind to fight the creature. Freya, filled with rage, declared that they had to kill the creature, or their entire empire would be destroyed. Tom explained that normal weapons wouldn't be enough to defeat the creatures, they needed sharp, powerful weapons capable of piercing their tough hides. Tom, along with Wolf and Freya, traveled to the sea where his spaceship had crashed. Tom dove into the water to salvage metal from his wrecked spaceship. However, he didn't anticipate that the creatures could also swim. As Tom gathered the metal pieces, a smaller dragon-like creature began circling him, preparing to attack. Tom quickly returned to the surface with the materials he needed, only to discover that Wolf was in bad condition, and Freya had disappeared. Tom managed to drag Wolf to safety and, with the materials from the spaceship, they forged a powerful sword that could potentially be used against the creatures. With their new weapon, Tom, Wolf, and their soldiers formulated a plan to confront the creatures. They ventured into a well where the creatures were coming from, discovering a long tunnel built by the creatures. As they entered, Freya regained consciousness and realized that the small dragon-like creature had killed everyone around her. Freya, lucky to be alive, noticed that the dead bodies of the villagers were being kept in the cave by the creatures. As Tom and his soldiers arrived at the location, a smaller creature began attacking the soldiers. The cave was so dark that no one could see the creatures, and they took advantage of this, killing several soldiers. Tom, using the new sword he had forged, found the smaller creature and killed it. However, another smaller creature appeared in front of Freya, advancing toward her. Overcome with fear, she began to scream loudly, which alerted Tom and Wolf to rush to her aid. Tom handed the sword to Freya, and she successfully killed the creature. The group quickly made their way to exit the cave, but at that moment, the larger creature entered, enraged by the deaths of its young. It began to chase Tom and the others at full speed. Most of the soldiers had already exited, leaving only Wolf, Tom, and Freya behind. Wolf saw that the creature was closing in on them and pushed Tom and Freya to the side, choosing to fight the creature alone. The dragon-like creature captured Wolf and inflicted significant damage on him. Tom, unwilling to leave Wolf behind, rushed into the battle with his sword. Seizing an opportunity, Tom struck at the creature's limbs, causing it to fall into a ravine. Using the terrain to his advantage, Tom made a strategic move by distracting the creature on one side, then attacking from the other, successfully trapping it in the ravine and sending it tumbling down the mountain. Tom and Freya reached Wolf, who was now on the brink of death, his last breaths fading away. As Wolf's life slipped away, the creature's claws still embedded in his abdomen, he handed Tom a special talisman. This talisman had been given to him by the king before his death, as Wolf had been chosen to be the new king of the village. Aware that his time had come, Wolf entrusted the talisman to Tom, wishing for him to become the new ruler of the village. As soon as Tom received the talisman, Wolf passed away. Tom and Freya made their way to the top of the mountain, where the rest of the villagers were aboard boats, preparing to leave. However, Tom signaled for them to stop, as everything had been resolved. The villagers returned to the village, where a tribute was held for the fallen king and Wolf. Both their bodies were placed in boats and sent into the water, as Tom performed the final rites with a torch, ensuring they received the honor they deserved. It seemed that Tom was now the rightful king of the village, holding the royal talisman. That night, it was revealed that Tom was sending signals into space using a device. A spaceship detected the signal and was heading toward their location. However, for reasons unknown, Tom suddenly destroyed the device, cutting off the signal and causing the spaceship to veer off course into another galaxy. This decision revealed Tom's intentions. He did not want to leave. Instead, he chose to stay with Freya and build a strong empire, becoming the best king the land had ever known. And so, the story ends here, with Tom's new life beginning alongside Freya in the village he would now rule.